Literally, we are witnessing the making of climate's first orphans. As the world wakes up hesitantly to the reality of climate change, the coastal Orissa is sure that global warming-induced sea level rise is already threatening the existence of local residents. Satbhaya, a coastal village in Kendrapara district of Orissa, having virtually zero emissions of any greenhouse gases, may well be paying the price for global warming. The Bay of Bengal is making a fast ingression into the village. In the last 5 years, half the village has gone into the sea.
ସମୁଦ୍ର ଆମେ ଦେଖିବାରେ 1.5 କିଲୋମିଟର ଦୂର ଡିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଥିଲା 1.5 କିଲୋମିଟର ପାଖକୁ ପଳେଇ ଆସିଲାଣି ଭବିଷ୍ୟତରେ ଆହୁରି ବହୁତ ଖାଇଯିବ ଆଉ ତାପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ଲଘୁଚାପ ସୃଷ୍ଟି ହେଉଛି ଗୋଟା ଇଏରେ ସମୁଦ୍ରରେ ସେ ଭୟାନକ ବିପର୍ଯ୍ୟୟ ହେଉଛି ସେ ସମୟରେ କେହି ବି ରହିପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ଦୁଇ ଖଣ୍ଡି ମୌଜା ଗୋଟେ ଆମର ଯେଉଁ ମେଦଟା ଅଛି ସେ ମେଦରେ ଆଶ୍ରୟ ନେଉଛନ୍ତି ଦୁଇଥର ବି ମୁଁ ବି ନିଜେ ଦୁଇଥର ଆସିକି ଘର ଛାଡ଼ିକି ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ନେଇକି ସେ ମେଦ ଉପରେ ଆଶ୍ରୟ ନେଇଛି ଆଗରୁ ଟିକେ ଦୂର ଥିଲା ସମୁଦ୍ର ଚାଷବାସ ହେଉଥିଲା ଏବେ ଟୋଟାଲ 71, 82 କତରୁ ଚାଷବାସ ଟୋଟାଲ ବନ୍ଦ ବର୍ଷେ ହେଲେ 3 ବର୍ଷ ଚାଷର କୌଣସି ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଉଠୁନି
ଧାନ ଭାନ ବିଲ ନାହିଁ ପଇସା ଅଭାବରେ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରାହେଉଛି ଯେ ହଇ ପରିବାର ମେଣ୍ଟନ ହେବେ ତ ଲୁଣି ପାଣି ସବୁବେଳେ ମାଡ଼ୁଛି ଫସଲ ହେଉନି ଠିକ୍ ଆଉ ଏଇ ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ପଡ଼ିଛୁ ଆଉ କ'ଣ ସବୁ ପିଲା ପଳେଇଲେଣି ସବୁ ବାହାରକୁ ଆଉ ସେଇ ତାଙ୍କରି ପଇସାରେ ଆମେ ବଞ୍ଚିଛୁ ଆଉ କ'ଣ ସେପଟୁ ଚାଉଳ ଖଟିକିରି ଖାଉଛୁ ଆଉ
Going by the perception of residents, the sea will consume Satbhaya within a few years. The story repeats in neighboring Kanupur village also. The sea has already come inside by 2.5 kilometers in the last 15 years.
এইটা হচ্ছে 30-32 ବର୍ଷର ନଳକୂଅ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେ ଥିଲା ଆଗେ ଗାଁ ମଝିରେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଗ୍ରାମ ଶେଷରେ ଆଉ ଗ୍ରାମ ସବୁ ଚାଲିଗଲାଣି ଏଇ ଗୋଟିଏ ଘର କେବଳ ମାତ୍ର ଅଛି ୟାକୁ ବାଦ ଦେଲେ ଆଉ ଘର ଏଠି ବି ନାହିଁ
As we trek along the beach, it is very common to find the remains of Satbhaya and Kanupur's history in their watery grave. Everybody points deep inside the sea to locate his or her original homes.
ଆଗରୁ ସାତବାର ଥିଲା ଘର ବରାଇପୁରରେ ଆଗରୁ ଜନବସତି ନଥିଲା କ୍ରମଶଃ ବାଲି ପୋତି ପକେଇଲା ତେଣୁ ମାନେ ସ୍ଥଳଭାଗ ହେଇଗଲା ତେଣୁ ରହିଗଲେ ଏଇଟା ଜମି ଥିଲା ସାତ ଭାଇରୁ ଏ 19 ମସିହା ସାଇକ୍ଲୋନ୍ ଖାଇଯିବା ପରେ ଏଠିକି ଉଠି ଆସିଲେ ଏ ବାଉଣ୍ଡରୀ ବାଦେ 3 କିଲୋମିଟର ଦୂରରେ ଥିଲା ରାଜାଘର ସେଇ ରାଜାଘର କୋଠା ସିଧା ସବୁ ଗାଁ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଥିଲା 2 ମାଇଲ କିମ୍ବା 3 କିଲୋମିଟରରୁ ଉର୍ଦ୍ଧ୍ୱ ହେବ ଖାଇ ଆସିଲାଣି ସମୁଦ୍ର
Satbhaya was a cluster of 7 villages. Now, only 2 are partially left out. The official map also points to that.
এটা ছিল আমার 7টা মৌজা 7টা মৌজাରୁ ସବୁ ସମୁଦ୍ର ବାସରେ ଯାଇ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଥିଲା 2ଟା ମୌଜା ସେ 2ଟା ମୌଜାରୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କାନପୁରଟାକୁ ସବୁ ଖାଇଗଲେଣି ମୋ ଦେଖିବାରେ 2 ମାଇଲ ଖଣ୍ଡେ ରାସ୍ତା ସମୁଦ୍ର ଗର୍ଭରେ ଗଲାଣି
Why is that happening? Local people hold climate change and change in sea level as a culprit. The debate whether it is normal sea erosion has also not stood ground, given the ingression is very consistent.
ଯେଉଁ ଲଘୁଚାପ ସମୁଦ୍ର ସୃଷ୍ଟି ହେଉଛି କରେଣ୍ଟ ସୃଷ୍ଟି ହେଇକି ସେ ପାଣିର ତାପ ବଢ଼ି ଯାଉଛି ସେ ଅଟୋମେଟିକ୍ ମାଡ଼ି ଯାଉଛି ତାପରେ ଆମେ ଯେଉଁ ସାଇକ୍ଲୋନ୍ ଦେଖୁଛୁ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆଗରେ ଗୋଟେ ଲଘୁଚାପ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷ ଭିତରେ ହେଇଛି ବହୁତ ଏବେ ତ 10-15ଟା ଲେଖା ଲଘୁଚାପ ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷ ଭିତରେ ଆସୁଛି
People's perceptions are very important. I give a completely high ranking on that. But at the same time, everything should not be left to perception. It should be verified through science and fortified through our knowledge.
The scientific community points the finger at global warming-induced sea level rise as the probable culprit.
It's not a scientific debate, as I always say now. It is a real phenomena. It is happening, and it is happening. The signals are already visible all over the world.
This change in the number of post-monsoon low pressure areas forming in the Bay of Bengal, it is certainly due to the rise in sea surface temperature.
Whether Satabhaya area is a victim of sea level rise needs more convincing, but the Bay of Bengal is definitely rising due to global warming. Theoretically, global warming can heat up the sea, triggering cyclones and also a rise in sea level. The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, reports that the bay is heating up and rising by 1 millimeter every year. India's National Institute of Oceanography has also pointed at sea level rise in the east coast. Going by scientific modeling, 1 millimeter of sea level rise will lead to the submergence of 425 acres of land.
If you take water in a Borosil jar and warm it up, you can see that it will expand with the rise in temperature. And that's the same thing, any liquid, it may expand when you warm it up. So in the ocean, which is the largest body of water, when the temperature rises, it will expand. Till now, it is the thermal expansion which is due to the sea surface temperature increase, which has led to the sea level rise. Now there are additional factors which are likely to contribute to a more rapid sea level rise in the decades to come.
The sea level rise at a particular location is a combination of global sea level rise and local trends. Like Orissa has lost 56% of its mangrove forest in the last 25 years. The mangrove forests are the natural barriers against the sea. Without this, the sea level rise will have wide-scale submergence.
The coastal zone is obviously under threat from a number of pressures. On the one hand, you've got sea level rise at a rate of about 1 to 2 millimetres a year. And so we have sea level rise, and many parts of the world have sea level rise. There are parts of the Indian subcontinent where you have this too. But sea level rise is going to accelerate, and we're also going to get warmer waters. We're going to get storm surges. We'll get changes in cyclone activity. So there are going to be a number of pressures on the coastal zone. If regions are protected by mangroves, or if they have coral reefs off the shore, then those natural habitats reduce the wave energy that you have, and that prevents damage inland. It reduces the extent of flooding inland, and so protects the livelihoods of people. So there's a very good reason for people to actually preserve their natural habitats in the coastal zone, their mangroves, and to do their best to conserve their coral reefs, because in the tropical regions, those are natural defense mechanisms which will potentially reduce the extent of flooding.
Also, the IPCC estimates a sea level rise of 15 to 38 centimeters by the middle of this century. This may well indicate the fate of the Satabhaya areas and for the whole of India's coast. As the global debate on climate change rages, the bay ravages Orissa's coast. For the orphans of climate in Orissa, their future is a big question, and we all owe them an answer.